Hello, Anomaly here, and welcome to another Mistweaver commentary video. Today we're going to be discussing Tichondrius, heroic mode. So this is probably one of the mid-tier bosses you'll fight in Nighthold. And this was from, of course, our first kill. So it was super sloppy, made a ton of mistakes, but let's kind of jump right in and check it out. So like most of, or at least a couple bosses here, the beginning part of the fight is not exactly exciting. There's not too much to heal, not too much going on. Um, so really just trying to keep Rems on cooldown here and probably just channel some soothing mists into the tanks. Um, just as there's really not too much damage going on. That quickly changes though. So the first big ability, and this is kind of where I mess up there, right? That's an early chi burst. I should have saved chi burst for that explosion. Would have healed a bunch more. I also didn't really hit Essence Font at all, or pop Chi G. So again, this is just not very good cooldown usage, right? Like I'm moving around a lot. TFT Vivify there, and finally throw out an Essence Font, but the bird is still not out. The bird can probably cover most of this damage. Um, so definitely a huge kind of just in general healing mistake on my part. So I finally pop Manatee and get some Essence Font out there. I do Vivify there, which I think was with a UT proc, just to kind of chase the hot proc from Essence Font along with UT, which helped out a lot. So again, right here is probably a perfect place to revival. We really didn't have a set cooldown rotation when doing this fight, so the idea would be is whenever we could, we're gonna kind of pop our cooldown. So probably don't need it for these brands, but definitely for that phase, I could have popped it there. So another kind of just issue with not using cooldowns properly. Something we've changed since we've killed this boss is primarily that the brands just run into melee now. So that kind of just basically lowers the need, like the mage did right there, it just lowers the need for the range to move around and myself too. So um, definitely a big change there. As you can see, I dropped cake late. That's a wasted cake. And the fact that we're already, what, a minute, almost 2 minutes into the fight, and that's the first cake I've dropped. Again, this is just a kind of a textbook, just really not using cooldowns effectively, right? There's a time and place to kind of use everything on cooldown, and there's probably a fight you can do it, but it really only works if you use things on cooldown early and they're up. Um, so yeah, so it's a very rough phase. Ended the phase though with a decent amount of mana, right around 50, 60, or around 60, 65%, which is pretty good. Basically means these purple debuffs are going to top me to full. I would say even if you're extremely low on mana, like in the 10 to 20% range, the debuffs are probably going to top you to full. So definitely use your roll to get out to them. It's the buffs are absolutely probably the biggest buff to your healing that you can get here is just because it provides you almost a full mana bar while it's up. So as you can see, I'm already almost topped. Can't use mana enough to drop it down. So again, keeping Rem on cooldown, I do pop Manatee and Essence Font spam here. Potentially not needed, but I mean just to get the cooldown going on it. Definitely popping Manatee there works. And also chi bursted at the end of it, so I didn't chi burst over top of the Manatee, which definitely helped out. So here we have just continue to get some Essence Font out there. I just dropped the purple buff, so I'm really good on mana. And the next phase should be up in another minute or two, so not too much of an issue there. Again, if I'd use my cooldowns effectively, like here's a good chi burst. Chi burst does go through these pillars, so definitely good to use if you can line it up with two groups, which was good. That was kind of the first, I think, okay thing I did in this fight. Other than keeping my Shaylun stacks fairly low. It was not a very good cooldown usage fight. You can see cake is off cooldown. You don't have the cooldown ticking. It's something I've since changed. Got a new weak core at cake now. Makes a sound when it's off cooldown, and it kind of pops. The icon stays on my screen. So there we lost a bunch of people. I think ultimately that was because of just bad brand pops. Basically kind of popped brands too close together along with the Carrion Storm coming out and lost a bunch of people. So Again, since I have Carrion Swarm, I'm kind of in the corner here. Since we've killed this again, I've positioned myself a little bit more central with Carrion Swarm, just to kind of be able to hit more people. But um, had Manatee up, spamming out some Essence Fonts, just trying to push that as much as I can. So it would be a great time to Chi Burst in that front group, which I did there, which was good. As we go into kind of the night phase, now I'm just going to be searching for a purple debuff here. So again, keeping Rem on cooldown, using Essence Font, with the hope that you get a purple debuff. And, TFT Vivifies, using Vivify with only UT procs, things like that, all super, super helpful. So I think I end up getting lucky and a purple debuff actually spawns underneath of me and I pick it directly up, which is great. So purple debuff, as you can see, based on the weak ore I have, and you can see my debuffs in the upper right, and just really kind of topping off my mana, which is great. And definitely needed as we kind of see the end of this fight go down. So we will say the one really good thing I did do here was I kept Ram on cooldown really, really well, and that definitely helped things. Essence Font spamming here with the purple debuff, super good. Basically, you're going to regen your full mana bar before the Essence Font finishes casting, so you can really kind of get it out there as much as you want. Chi Burst there, probably could have waited a couple seconds for this, but we used it there for this kind of spinning damage. So again, mana situation is really good. Look at our brand friend trying to pop the brand, couldn't get enough people in range, which I think is pretty funny since he's sitting in melee. I think it's because we lost too many melee at this point. So in here, spamming out some Essence Fonts. I probably should hold Revival like I did, which is good. I get instantly dispelled there, which I thought was very weird. Normally we've had we have like the healer's response for dispelling yourself. I don't know who dispelled me there. And then I was just way too far in the back with Carrion Swarm that was out of range of both tanks, couldn't see them. So at this point I'm just really spamming out Essence Font, trying to keep whoever I can alive as we kind of kill the boss here. Use Revival there. Potentially should have used it a little bit earlier. But yeah, ultimately that was Tichondrius. So I think ultimately what we can kind of take away from that fight is just smarter usage of cooldowns, using them earlier, getting them on cooldown. Just understanding that a lot of the fights, Tichondrius and others, there's just constant damage. So the fact that you're not saving your cooldowns for one big damaging event, you can kind of use them as you see fit, work with the other healers and stuff like that. But that's really kind of the big takeaway, I think, from this fight. So other than that, guys, thank you very much for watching. If you do have questions, you can leave them in the comments below, or you can head over to the Monk Discord, ask your questions there. Tons of good information there, tons of great people to talk to. So don't hesitate to reach out and ask. So other than that, again, thank you for watching. I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. We'll talk to you later.